What's up, Scorpio? Happy birthday to all the Scorpios out there. Happy belated birthday, happy early birthday. So happy to have all my Scorpio friends here with me today. Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup. That is me, that is my channel. We are here to do your November monthly readings. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's basically November. I hope this video finds you all well. Do keep in mind these are going to be general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with you. I can just about guarantee you that. Pieces and parts of it likely will. Give these messages time to resonate with you. Later down the line, if something strikes a chord, then that's fantastic. It means it was your message. But yeah, I welcome you to come into this with an open heart and an open mind as always. If something doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, please release it. You don't need to take on the energy. But yeah, be open to messages resonating for you later down the line as well. Energy is free flowing, so this is roughly for the month of November. But yeah, don't limit yourself to a specific time, right? If it's your message, it's your message. Enough of that, Scorpio. You know the drill. I love my Scorpios. I got a Scorpio moon, so got mad love for you guys. What do Scorpios need to know roughly for the month of November? We will take one more card. Happy Halloween. Happy Thanksgiving, depending on when you're watching this. One more card for Scorpio that wants to come out. All right, cool. Let's do it, Scorpio. So your energy coming into the month. Interesting. King of Pentacles. So I just did Taurus's reading, which featured you quite prominently, and they got this card as well. So this is the card of Taurus, the King of Pentacles, the King of Money, the King of Home, the King of Career, right? Could also be Capricorn or Virgo. It's very strong earth energy. It doesn't have to be masculine, but we'll see here. So Scorpio, potentially working on your career, or coming into some sort of major accomplishment in the realm of tangible things. Now, when I say that, I mean it could be a lump sum of money. It could be a raise in your paycheck. It could be getting a new title at work. It could be completing, projects or home repairs, things of that sort, things that you can kind of reach out and touch. Building of structures or even building of relationships with the family. It's very good, though. The king is like... yeah, it's very strong, loyal, sturdy energy, right? We think of the the acorn into the oak tree. It's withstands the test of time. Legacy. It's built strong. I feel like that's a slogan for some commercial, but now I can't think of it. Built strong, built tough. I don't know. So underlying energy for that is Two of Wands. Okay, instantly what I get from this is you were at some sort of crossroads or had some sort of decision to make. Am I going to go this way or am I going to go that way? And potentially there had been some indecision. Maybe you were sitting on it for some time. But whatever action forward you took, no matter what direction or choice or person, I am getting there was reward in you taking that action. And I don't necessarily know if taking one course of action versus the other was more profitable, successful than the other. But the underlying energy is the choice. So what I'm getting is, I think most of you have already made some sort of, I don't even know if it's a choice, but taken action forward. Whatever it was, you're enjoying the comforts of that choice. Maybe it's just peace of mind. Maybe some of you decided to go visit family for a while and you're at home enjoying the rest, the good energy of being around those you love. This can very much be a card of family or fatherhood for that matter, right? It could be motherhood as well. Maybe you're hanging out with your father, right? Maybe you're hanging out with your kids, whatever it is. But it's like, I'm just getting something about this. You had to wade through some sort of emotions or internal decision, right? Two of Wands, but Wands being either career or action, potentially communication. But for a lot of you, it's like, where do I want to go? How do I want to progress forward? So if it isn't literal travel, it's like making strides in your career towards accomplishing something and feeling like it's settled and set up for success. Again, metaphorically, it's like, okay, I've planted the seed. It has plenty of water. It has plenty of sunlight. It has this, it has that. It's like ensuring that it's something about ensuring your future, ensuring the best possible outcome as best you can based on your prior knowledge or prior experience anyway. He's the king, right? He didn't get to be the king overnight. So anyway, it's good energy. I feel like I'm rambling a bit on that, Scorpio. Let's throw one more clarifier on it just because I'm curious. For a lot of you, it does have to do with travel and home and or career. That's coming up really strongly. Yeah, the rider, absolutely. So this is definitely presenting as like a knight. I'm going to throw one more on it. Some of you may have decided to go through with some sort of, I don't know if it's like medical procedure or surgery, but it was to get your body well again, to get back into good health. And maybe there was some resistance of wanting to go through with that process. But again, it results in reward or enjoying like the aftermath, like the end result of it. I don't do medical readings, just to be very clear. I'm not a doctor, so that was just a random message that came through, but yeah. Interesting. Okay, so I was asking what is this rider headed towards, because sometimes I could see this as a romantic offer, being that it's on a hearts card. This is an oracle deck. So I wasn't sure if it was like a romantic, steady, stable offer that you were making. The thing is, you have literally all the signs here. But then what presented as what this rider is heading towards, that might be someone's last name actually, rider for some of you, is the devil. Interesting. So for some of you, it's a Capricorn. For most of you, I don't think it is, though. Hold on, just give me 1 second. I want to absorb this message. Okay, so it has to do with being too precious of keeping things in the status quo, or as I was saying, if this has to do with money, making some sort of wise decision in finances or investment, whatever action you take, something about it, it's like after you've achieved something, you are so hesitant or scared to change up the ingredients or change up the methods of doing it that you are missing out on some sort of opportunity because you're being so precious about, well, and I'm trying to give you an example here, but it's like, you know, we've started this business and for the last 2 years, we've always done it this way and our profits have been fine, but you're missing out on other avenues to make more money because you're so married to the idea of how it used to be done or how it's being done. And understandably, because I think the results have been good, the results have been decent, but it's like no risk, no reward. The way this devil is keeping these little people like trapped in this thing, it's not so much... The devil keeps us stuck, right? It's not so much, I'm trying to phrase this in an eloquent way and it's just not coming. I'm trying to express this to you guys. It may have to do with greed, with money, and again, no shade, Scorpio. I got Scorpio in my chart, but because it's showing up as the King of Pentacles and potentially forward movement in your career, you may be overly concerned with money or overly stingy. If you're bringing people on board to help you with your business, you may not be paying them what they deserve. It's like you're trying to keep it very well preserved in a glass case so nothing can touch it, so nothing can affect it. But I'm just getting the metaphor of it's being suffocated. Something about this idea or this relationship or this partnership needs to breathe. It needs to grow and transition, right? In Scorpio season, it's like, hello change, like goodbye old cycles, welcoming in the new. So I am saying almost to your own demise, Scorpio, if you're resonating with this, there's a need to like kind of set something free, because the longer you keep it stuck and almost trying to force it to work, it's going to work against you. It's not going to be in your for your best good, if that makes sense. So again, this could be a romantic partnership. For a lot of you, it's your business. It might be getting out of the mindset of it has to be done this way, or something about keeping it secret too, I could say, or I could see rather, the idea of not wanting to expose it to the world, wanting to keep it very precious and hidden. Could also be a relationship. There's something about it, it needs to be free, it needs to be seen, it needs to be brought out in the light of day. It's being kept in like this dark, like dank cellar, right, where it's like moldy and it smells and it's like devil energy, right? If it's a Capricorn, cool, but if it's not a Capricorn, yeah, something about this needs to change. And with that, following the devil, if it's not released, right? If we don't release the butterfly from the cocoon, that it's like metaphorically you're keeping it stuck, right? You're not letting it breathe. That's when the Tower comes in to do it for you, right? So whenever we see the Devil, it's great because it's a heads up, like, oh, okay, what am I overly stuck on? What am I not releasing? What am I, it's like not seeing the forest from the trees. You have a very clear way of, it has to be done like this, but it's like, well, step back and maybe step back and see it from a different angle or a different perspective. Is there a better way to get this to grow? Because ultimately that's your goal, right? If you're presenting as the King of Pentacles, there's something you want to build upon and grow. Again, legacy, long term. But I am just getting the person that's going to like get in the way of that growth is you, because again, whatever that means to you, that metaphor of like suffocating the butterfly, it just needs to fly free. Something about, and if it's a relationship, you know, that cheesy saying of if you love something, set it free. There's two different paths or actions that could be taken, or something that was a path that was taken. Maybe you went the safe route. Maybe that's what this is representing. And maybe this other route being presented to you is, it could be even better. If you were to travel down the road less traveled, maybe it's a risk, right? Maybe, again, releasing something out into the world for the public to praise but potentially criticize, right? There's some sort of reward in that for you. It's going to be worthwhile is what I keep hearing. Oh my God, we're on 11 minutes. Okay, moving on. Because that's just your section. That's sort of what you're presenting as. So holy cannoli, Scorpio. I mean, in your season, it does make sense that you have a lot going on. And I like to see that. It's good, but what is this Devil? I would ask you to figure that out, right? It's going to be different for everybody, but something is being enclosed that needs to like, it just needs to be released. It needs to be freed. All right, so what is your challenge? Ooh, all right, so there's that I almost said 3 of hearts, that 3 of swords. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it is a Libra card. Something about your heart space is out of balance. Something about your, I mean, it is air energy, so it does have to do with your thought, your mind, but something is giving you pain or disappointment or sadness, sorrow. And it has to do with the 4 of Cups. All right, interesting. So the 4 of Cups is typically kind of complacent energy. It's not realizing either that you can do better or that there's something being presented to you that you've already written off as not worth your time. It's not valuable to you, right? If you're the King of Pentacles. And I do think this may still have to do with something back here. Disappointment of a path that somebody took. Maybe it was you or a romantic partner or a business partner that maybe ruffled your feathers or upset you, but really caused you pain. Gave you some sort of insecurity or disappointment or feeling like you weren't good enough, or just, I mean, kind of broke your heart, right? So in this case, I think the 4 of Cups is representing that there is emotional fulfillment and happiness, a chance at joy, of potentially love, right? It's right in front of you, but you're not recognizing it. It's like you're crawling up the walls with frustration or sadness. But there's potential for forward movement if you could just recognize that there's, I don't know why, but I'm getting like there's an Ace of Cups. There's like a new beginning. And I think it has to do with the traditional depiction of the 4 of Cups. It's 3 cups that are just kind of whatever. And this one, it's like the hand of God. It's trying to present it to you. But sometimes you don't see it. It's like you're not looking in the right direction. But it's almost presented as like a treasure chest, right? So there, it could represent, again, different avenues or different people that could offer some sort of emotional fulfillment, happiness. Cups in a career spread, if you're relating to this in the career front, could also represent the idea of money flow. If money is an energy, pouring cups back and forth, like money exchange, money flow in your business. Okay, so if money in the business has not been good, if it hasn't been coming in, again, it has to do with this. It has to do with being guarded of your idea or not letting, I don't know if it's not showing, like sharing it with the world, or being, again, like a miser or greedy. Something about that. You're holding on to it, which is impeding the ability for the idea to move forward, for the business to move forward, for the relationship to move forward, potentially for, okay, so if this is a relationship, for a toxic partnership to move on, right? To move past this kind of, yeah, like they're bound together, but they're not supposed to be. It's like they're being kept hostage, essentially, by the devil, by like an overpowering force that is, it's just not for everyone's highest good. This is asking for forward movement, again, in your career or in your relationships. But yeah, the crossroads, there's uncertainty here. And I am just kind of getting the message that whatever this disappointment was, you're not realizing there was a valuable emotional lesson in it, which is kind of a strange way of putting it, but because this is like, yes, it's an air sign card, but because it has to do with the heart, the emotional capacity, the underlying energy is that there's stable emotions. 4 of Cups. 4s are always very stable numbers in tarot. Again, it doesn't speak to the idea of taking a lot of risks. It's sometimes a comfort zone to the point of maybe there's boredom here, but there's some sort of emotional lesson you're learning from this disappointment. And it may have to do with, like, once you understand, once you comprehend what you can learn from maybe this disappointment, potentially with a partnership of some sort, that is going to open the doors for you to progress forward and move on into, again, some sort of at least some sort of stability, if not some sort of like really valuable, it could be a valuable idea or lesson that it's either progressing you in your relationships or in your business. This is a little bit muddled, Scorpio. I have to be honest with you. I'm getting so many different messages that I'm trying to like piece it together in a really like nice little cute bow, but it's not wanting to be that way. So I think, again, pieces of these messages are going to resonate for different people. I am going to throw one more oracle card on this one for Scorpio. What is this about? The anchor. Yeah, being stuck. I mean, the devil, right? It's something about your ship is trying to move, but it's like you haven't realized the anchor's still overboard. There's, again, the idea of something being a very heavy lesson, a heavy emotional realization. Once it has something to do with seeing the truth. Something about it's driving you crazy, and it's actually really perfect that these came out together. The phrase, you're crawling up the walls, it's like you're anxious, you're agitated, you're searching to like unlock that door that just you can't find the key to, essentially. Something about the recognition of the emotions, or again, some avenue that's going to make you happier. It's going to help heal this disappointment, and it's not going to be a weight on your heart anymore. If that lands for some of you. For some of you might literally be traveling, just with these cards, it's possible. And if it's not literal travel, it's forward progression, again, in your relationships, in your business, in your family dynamics. All right, interesting. So what is the help available to my Scorpios? The Knight of Swords. All right. So moving forward with that truth, it's a card of Gemini, could also be Libra or Aquarius. There could be someone in your surroundings who has a very good idea, or someone you could maybe merge or form some sort of partnership that does a lot of the, I almost want to say like advertising or campaigning for your business. Someone who essentially is like the messenger, right? Somebody who goes out and spreads the word, spreads the communication of this business or of this idea. And if it's not that, the help available to you is simply communicating with speed and like with precision. The Page of Cups. Okay, interesting. I am getting something about communicating disappointment, potentially to that person that let you down. The Page of Cups can sometimes be an apology. And what's interesting is pages are typically shown as children. So I'm not saying for all of you has to do with your child. For most of you, I really don't think it does. But there's something about moving forward swiftly with this very pure and innocent truth. And again, it has to do with your heart space, your emotions, what you're feeling needs to be expressed. Because I think you've been sitting on that for a long time. Again, it's been weighing on your heart. Something has been trapped. Something has not been exposed to the light. It's been, again, hidden in the basement, in the dungeon, whatever that is. This is like presenting your truth, your cup, your emotions out into the world, and with clarity, with truth, again, out in the daylight, right? It's like we're no longer keeping it in the dungeon. And again, if it's a romantic or some sort of healing of the heart space, right? It could be that. It could also be expressing some sort of artistic endeavor or career that, again, you're trying to express to the world and before has been bottled up. The dynamic of these two cards, it's very interesting. They're playing very well off each other. And again, like, I'm doing a poor job communicating because these messages they're different. I don't know how else to say it. It's going to mean, because it's a general message, right? I mean, I want to do you the service of delivering these with precision and clarity, but this in itself, maybe it's meaning that you're not sure how to proceed with clarity, or that it's different. It's, for some of you, it's romantic. For some of you, it's repairing a family relationship. Parent-child, right? Sibling. It, again, I said romantic partner, a business partner. It's all over the place. But this is moving forward with emotional intelligence, if that makes sense, with integrity, and with innocence and purity. It's something about not coming in with, I was going to say with spilled cups, actually, but it's going in to repair what was hurt or broken before. And because I was saying something about this is presenting to me as like you're missing out on the Ace of Cups, this more or less is kind of that Ace of Cups. And maybe it's not brand new. Well, it's not, right? If it's a page, maybe it's not a brand new ace. It's always been there. You just didn't realize it. This is realizing it's there and that it's fixable. You can go back and make this better. Again, business or romantic, whatever it is. This cup can get upright again, and look, there's an entire wave, there's an entire ocean that could fill this cup up, if that in metaphor is making sense to you. Moving forward with the new emotional truth, that is the help available to you. The help available to you in the month of November, Scorpio. All right, what is your advice or guidance? Wow, 10 of Cups. All right, envisioning the end. And that's what I was saying with this. Envisioning the fairy tale ending, what feels the best. Some of you have gone through some sort of major change, potentially with a really difficult situation, right? If the devil is presenting, there's something that was holding you back for a really long time. And this is almost busting through with newfound freedom, with the new thought, with the new idea, with the new emotional truth of this is where I'm headed. Essentially, you have two knights, right? Headed in opposite directions, interestingly enough. But on my board, they're actually headed towards each other, if that makes sense. So if I pick them up, I don't know if these are representing two different people, but if they are, hey, that's kind of cool. Maybe you'll meet someone who's in alignment with your heart's desire, right? I mean, with this Page of Cups, it could be the reparation of some sort of relationship that, yeah, it sunk into the ocean. Something about it couldn't float. It couldn't see the light of day. Again, it was being like kept under, submerged. Wow, you have a lot of cards. Okay, I think that's gonna resonate with a lot of you. I just said that, and all of a sudden it all came into clarity for me. Something weighing heavily in water, right? Emotionally, you weren't ready to bring it up to the surface. You weren't ready for it to see the light of day. But I am just getting, at some point, you take some sort of risk to move forward, to unchain your heart from whatever was keeping you held down or held back. And then boom, there's that light of day. That seed can finally grow again. And it's not brand new. Again, it's either a relationship that's being revived or a business endeavor that you finally had some innovative idea on how to move forward with it. that seed has the chance to grow again. With the page, it's not brand new, but there was some sort of emotional lesson in whatever you went through. It really allowed you to find your own strength, didn't it? This had been weighing you down, and then somewhere along the line, Scorpio, you decide to break free, to take the road less traveled, potentially, to move forward with your truth, with your ideas, with your emotional truth. And this is what you're headed towards, your fairy tale ending. Now, this is a long time, right? This is, again, legacy. You're building it over the years, over time. But it's having a clearer sense of what it's going to feel like and look like, too. What is your happy ending? What, when you go home at the end of the day and you think about your life in 10 years, what do you want it to look like? But what do you want it to feel like? Who do you want to be in your tribe, in your circle? What do you want to wake up every day and do for the rest of your life, right? Again, going to be totally different for everybody, but your advice or guidance is think about that. If nothing else, this is saying think about the long term and think about how you're moving towards it, and also the speed at which you're doing so. This is a card of rapid action, so not all of you are ready for that. I can absolutely sense that with the Devil and the Anchor. Some of you, this has been a long time coming, again, of like liberation. It's like you finally cut the string that's been holding you, that's been like tying you to the pole metaphorically, and then you're just like charged, like you're ready to go because you're so ready to get this, to start building your way towards what you've always wanted. Underlying energy for the Ten of Cups is the Hierophant. Yeah, committing to that path. And we had said something about that the door that you just couldn't unlock, it's like you've been searching for the key. There are the keys. And there's always two with the Hierophant, but something about partnership, something about exchanging keys with someone. So yeah, for some of you it is romantic partnership, like moving into a space with that person, but also being the Hierophant. This is like the idea of the Pope, the priest, following your spiritual path, like the keys to your heaven, right? And I almost mean like heaven on earth, if that makes sense. The keys to your future, where you want to build, who you want to build with, who you want to grow with, what you want to grow, right? A lot of this is talking about really looking at where you're at now and asking yourself, like being very honest, is this where I want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? That number 10 is important for some of you. Maybe something about the 10th day. Maybe some of you were born on the 10th of, November. Is that what it would be? Something about that is important. And interestingly enough, the 10 and the 5 make the Devil again. The 15. What is holding you back? What is keeping you stuck from getting to this? Or even making headway in building that future? Heaven is a place on earth. That's what I'm going to call your video. All right, Scorpio, that's what I got for you. A complicated message, absolutely. I hope you guys stuck with me there. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Have a very happy birthday and happy Halloween, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, Scorpio.